Hi everybody, my name is Cameron and today we'll be looking at respiration, specifically aerobic, anaerobic and exercise. So what is aerobic respiration? Aerobic respiration is respiration in the presence of oxygen. So this is the breakdown of glucose using oxygen to give us carbon dioxide, water as byproducts and energy in the form of ATP. ATP is then able to be used by our cells for their certain functions. Okay. Now the chemical equation for this is C6H12O6, which is glucose, plus 6O2, oxygen, giving us 6CO2 plus 6H2O, plus that energy-rich ATP. So it is basically just photosynthesis reversed. Now, it's important to remember that respiration also occurs in plants, and it actually occurs in plants 24/7. Okay, so it doesn't require light, and plants are also still going to need this ATP energy molecules to perform their cellular functions. Aerobic respiration is also going to happen in the mitochondria. And the lab test that we use to detect respiration is usually lime water. Okay, so lime water is going to get cloudy in the presence of carbon dioxide. So when you exercise, your muscles are going to require more oxygen and they're going to require more glucose. This is going to be supplied by the heart pumping faster. Your arteries are going to dilate and you're going to start breathing a lot more. But if you are unfit, this means that your heart is going to have to work even harder to supply your muscles with blood. Okay, and your intercostal muscles and diaphragm will also have to work harder. Now, the more fit you are, the stronger these muscles are going to be, the less they have to work to get this blood around your body. So if you haven't eaten directly before exercise as well, your muscles are going to be getting this glucose from the stored glycogen within them. So when your body can't supply your muscles with enough oxygen, you don't just drop. Okay, your body has adapted a way to still break down glucose to get the energy it requires without the use of oxygen. Now this is called anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic meaning without oxygen. And when it comes to humans, we are going to break glucose down into something called lactic acid with a bit of ATP. So not as much ATP as aerobic respiration, but we'll still have ATP for the muscles to use. However, when you have finally calmed down, when you are not exercising again, and you are in a period of rest, you will still be breathing intensely, okay? And this is to make up for the oxygen debt that you have accumulated, okay? Because eventually that lactic acid will need to be broken down or processed, okay? And this is going to happen in the liver, which we'll check in the next slide. Now, in humans, lactic acid is formed. But when it comes to microorganisms, an alcohol called ethanol will be formed, as well as CO2. And this process is known as fermentation. So fermentation is when microorganisms break down glucose in an anaerobic environment to form ethanol and carbon dioxide. Okay, now where is this energy going to be used? The energy coming from anaerobic or aerobic respiration. This goes towards your metabolism. Now your metabolism is all the chemical reactions that are going to take place in each cell of your body. A lot of these chemical reactions are going to be enzymes and they're going to generate a lot of heat. Now, most of these chemical reactions are going to be happening in your liver. So what metabolic reactions are going to be occurring in your liver? It is the conversion of glucose into starch and glycogen and cellulose, the formation of lipid molecules and glycerol or from glycerol and fatty acids, respiration, okay, as well as photosynthesis. These are all processes that require that ATP energy and are going to produce a bit of heat. Now, the role of the liver in the body is to detoxify poisonous substances such as ethanol in the alcohol that we drink from our blood. It is going to be passing these broken down substances and waste products into the blood to allow it to be taken out via urine, as well as recycling iron from old blood cells. So when blood cells get too old, they are broken down and that iron is stored in the liver. And that's why livers are so good for a source of iron. Okay. An interesting fact, if you were to eat a polar bear's liver, you would die because of the extremely high concentrations of iron inside the polar bear's liver. And another function is the conversion of lactic acid from this anaerobic respiration when we exercise back into glucose, which can then be taken into the bloodstream and either converted into glycogen or used up. So my name is Cameron, this has been Respiration, and I'll see you in the next lesson.